A budget, agreed upon budget, both parties say, okay, well, this is what we're going to spend, this is what we're going to save. So it keeps you in parameters of your income, and it doesn't allow you to go over your budget. You have a greater control of where your money is going. It eliminates the money fights, and it's self-imposed accountability. You hold yourself accountable based on the budget that you created. It's your budget. You put whatever you want in it. It's yours. But just do a budget. Don't keep wandering through life trying to figure out, where's my money? It's yours. You put it on paper, document it. Here are the 4 things you should cover in your budget: food, shelter, clothing, transportation. These are the 4 primary things you need to cover. It should be self-explanatory. Here's just a sample budget breakdown that I created. And like I said, I do these in 4-week spans or 4-hour spans, so I have a lot more time to go in depth with them. But this is the budget for me. Tithing, I'm a believer, so I tithe. That's what I do. If you're not, give it to wherever you want to give it. But tithing, savings, pay yourself first. 25% your housing, food, transportation. You see the numbers, but just make sure that there are no blind spots in your budgets. A lot of times we do a budget, and then when it doesn't work, we say, crap, throw that thing away. This stuff don't work. Well, no, it does work. You just forgot to put on there that you have HOA dues that's coming up, that's $600, and so it blows your budget out of proportion. So when you thinking in advance what these expenses are going to be, you plan for it accordingly. So you got to get out of debt. Somebody say that with me. Say, you got to get out of debt. Forbes magazine interviewed some rich people, and the consensus was, by far, one of the quickest ways to become and stay debt-free, or build wealth, is to become and stay debt-free. Most people run around like happy slaves, and I think debt is a bondage. So let me give you a visual example. Can I get one volunteer, please? Anybody? Not all at once. Come on. Yes, sir. What's your name, sir? Gary. Thank you for participating, Gary. I need you to do me a favor. Turn around and put your hands behind your back. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Gary here. Volunteer too quick, yeah. Think about that next time, won't you? Mr. Gary here is what being in debt looks like. Mr. Gary, I need you to go around the corner, down this hall, turn to the right, go to the right, use the restroom. Can you do that?
Not with my hands. I'll try.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Gary. Get that, I'm a little parched, man. Grab that bottle of water over there for me. You can do that, right? Okay. Mr. Gary. Oh, man, Mr. Gary. It's a little difficult, right? You did it. Good job. Thank you. I appreciate it. Mr. Gary, go shake that man's hand back there. It's a difficult process, right? This is what it looks like when you're walking around in debt. You see that? Simple things that you should be able to do without any problems become a lot more complicated. How free do you feel right now?
Very.
You uncomfortable a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit? Just a little bit? What if I don't have a key?
Oh, we in trouble.
We got a problem, right? This is what it looks like to walk around life in debt. It makes life a lot more complicated. The things that you should be able to do with ease just got complicated. He can't even use the restroom. If he had to go and use the restroom right now, he would be up the creek. Yeah. So this is the image that I want you to keep in mind when you're swiping that beautiful piece of plastic called MasterCard. Think about that name, MasterCard. That sounds interesting, don't it? Thank you, Mr. Gary. You were great. Give him a hand. Thank you, sir. How's it feel right now?
Real good.
You feel free?
Yeah.
Yeah. So getting out of debt, that's what that feels like. So you got to do that. I used to be a credit junkie. I live by my credit score. I worship that God, man. If I got a credit score and it got under 700, I was having problems. I didn't have money. I had credit. Sound familiar? That's most of America. We don't have money. We don't save. We swipe. We maintain a credit score so that we can go and buy things that we can't afford, that we probably don't really need. That was me. You look at FICO score and it had a picture of me next to it. Here's what debt did to me. I felt like I could have whatever I wanted. It gave me a sense of power. I could walk in the store. I ain't had no money. Give me that piece of paper. Give me a pen. I got good credit. I can buy it. Give me that car. I like that car. It's a BMW. I love that car. Give me that. I want that too. Sign here. I ain't got no money. Anybody else? I'm the only one? No. Oh, okay. I was just checking. That debt led me to pain because when I couldn't make those payments anymore, had a shift in income, one of my jobs wasn't performing the way it was supposed to, I had a problem. That was a lot of pain. I got those calls. Mr. Love, what kind of man don't pay his bills? Mr. Love, why don't you just set up a payment right now over the phone? Mr. Love, we're going to put this on your credit. Mr. Love, you know the story. Maybe you don't. I know the story. That's why I'm here telling it to you. But that pain, that harassment, that sense of hopelessness led to my purpose, which is why I'm here today. I went through hell trying to dig myself out of debt. And it was an emotional ride that I don't ever want to go on again. Now, there are two types of debt. There's literal debt, which is the stuff that you go and sign for, finance, borrow some money, literal money. But then there's an emotional debt. What you think is worse? Mental? How many say mental? That's about half. Okay. I think I agree. Mental debt is much worse than literal debt. Literal debt, you can fix that with a little time, a little money, good plan. You can get out of debt. But this other one, that's a monster. Because that's the one that's going to hold you hostage. Mental debt, you feel like you owe something to yourself, to your family, to your friends, to society, to your job. It's hard to escape that one. That's the one that gets stuck in your mind, and it takes forever to get out of that one. How many of you ever been indebted to your image? I work with a lot of real estate agents, and their logic is, I'm going to go out and look like $1 million. I'm going to drive this nice Range Rover to go show you this house that's $150,000. Now, if you were going out showing clients, multi-million-dollar commercial property, maybe. But Pookie don't need you to drive up in a Range Rover to impress him. So they become indebted to their image, like how I look keeps me a slave. I know none of you ever deal with that, but the rest of the people I talk to, they've had that problem before. So how do you get out of this debt? Debt is emotional. Say this with me. Say, debt is emotional. Debt is emotional. First, you have to become fed up. You have to just say, look, I'm tired of this. I want out. Come hell or high water. Get me out. Would you agree? Oh, yeah. When you were standing up here, did you feel that? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So next you have to develop a plan of attack, and then you have to commit to your mind and say, hey, listen, I'm going to sacrifice some short-term comforts for some long-term pleasures. Where do we start? If you say, hey, if you woke up and you were 20 feet deep in a hole, would you want me to throw you a rope to help you out, or would you want me to give you a ladder? Please say ladder. All right, good job. A ladder is the way that I talk about getting out of debt. One step at a time, from smallest to largest. Now, most economics professors will say, oh, no, you need to pay off your credit cards and pay off your debts with the highest interest first. It makes logical sense, right? It has more interest. It's taking more money out. But we're not dealing with logic. Remember, we just said debt is emotional. So when we do it this way, that first step, whatever that smallest bill is, when you pay that off, it builds excitement. You say, whew, I'm one down. I got 20 more to go, but I'm one down. I'm making progress. So as you step, that first step you take, you pay off that one. The next one you take, you pay off that one. What does that do? That builds momentum. Each step you take, each debt you pay off, it builds momentum. You feel like you're making progress. I'm almost out of this hole. See what I'm saying? That momentum creates energy. That energy creates passion. Passion creates a debt-free life. And what does a debt-free life create? Freedom. Here's what freedom creates: wealth, lifestyle you want. It gives you options. When you broke, you don't have many options. Ramen noodles with chicken flavor or the pork flavor. Those are your options. So you don't have a whole lot of options when you're broke. It creates givers. People naturally, it's in our nature to give. So people naturally want to give, want to help others. A lot of times they just can't. They're bound and they just can't. People in church all the time, I really believe they want to give. They just can't. They don't have the money to give. So when you get out of debt, this is what happens. You can expand God's work. Again, I'm a believer. A lot of these presentations are to believers, but if you're not, that's okay. I'm not trying to persuade you. But it gives you the freedom and the liberty to expand a cause that you're passionate about. Better health. You can eat a little better. You don't have to eat off the dollar menu at McDonald's when you got a little money in your pocket. And it creates a generational transfer of wealth. Becoming the person that will attract the money. In order to achieve something you never achieved before, you have to become someone you've never been before and do something you've never done before. That's a mouthful, but that is the gospel. So ask yourself, why not me? Why can't I? I ask that a lot. Why not me? If he can do it, I can do it. If you can have it, so can I. What's different from you and me? Not a whole lot. There's some obvious differences. You know, I'm handsome, you're not. But other than that, you know, there's not a whole lot of difference. The main difference is attitude and our mentality. The way we think will determine our outcomes. So, quick question. I'm going to ask you this. Can you think of anyone that had a why not me mentality? I can. It's called President Obama. Think about it. Black man, not a whole lot of experience. I don't really know him. Fool, who are you thinking you can be the president? Can you imagine that dialogue in his head from friends, family? How you going to be the president of the United States? You ever seen somebody look like you up there? Can you imagine all the negative dialogue in his head? But he had to say, why not me? Why can't I be the president? Why can't he? There's nothing stopping him but him. So you have to become that person. And then 10 things you must do to achieve financial freedom. Number 1, establish your motive. Motive, root word for motivation. Why do you want this? People tell us to save money. They don't tell us why. So when you're asking the question, why am I saving this money? You got a stockpile of money, and you don't know why you're saving it, it's going to grow legs. Because something's going to come up and say, hey, I got a BBD. Know what that is? A bigger, better deal. Bring me that money. I want it. So you have to understand up front, why is it that you want to do this? What's motivating you? Is it so you can buy your kids a house? And so you can take this 6-month cruise you've always wanted? What's your motive behind it? So you have to do that. Don't compare yourself to other people. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make. They compare themselves to somebody else. You and I, what you do with your money has no effect on my life at all. So why would I compare myself to you? It doesn't make any sense, right? People do it all the time. Well, he got an extra raise. So what? You manage your money. You take care of you. Deal with you. Don't worry about him. Change your vocabulary. There's a lot of words I have in this, but I just chose these 2. People say, I just need to make some more money. What do you mean? I need to make some more money. You ever made some money?
Not really, but
Have you ever made some money? No. What about you? No? Nobody ever made no money? People who make money, they work in a mint. You've earned some money. Seed. Anybody ever heard of the term, you reap what you sow? Sowing seed. Seed contains everything that it needs to produce more of itself. So I teach people to change their vocabulary from money to seed, because seed is something that you plant with an expectation of a return. Money is something that you just spend, and once it's gone, it's gone. So I teach people to use seed, again, because it changes the whole dynamic of the relationship with you and what we call money. Seed is something that you invest. You expect a harvest. You expect a return. Now, if you go out and plant an apple seed, you're going to reap an apple seed? Don't say yes. Good job. You're not going to reap an apple seed. If you plant an apple seed, you're going to reap a tree that's going to produce more apples. You go stick some money in the ground, whatever you put in there, it's literally you reap what you sow. So if you put that in there, if you put a seed in the ground, you reap an abundance of what you've sown. You sow one seed and get 1,000 apples. Create your stick. What is a stick? So that I can. I'm going to save this money so that I can what? Kind of goes back to your motive. Embrace failure. This is a part of the process. It's a training tool that God created to get you to your destiny. Failure is a part of your journey. It's going to happen. Embrace it. Don't run from it, because you run from it, you're going to get paralyzed. You're going to stay stuck in the paralysis of analysis. So you have to embrace it, accept it. It is what it is. Don't follow the crowd. Be weird. I watched a video on YouTube the other day, and there was one guy walking through the alley by himself, minding his own business. A group of people came up walking behind him real fast. And all of a sudden, hey! And they jumped on the ground. He freaked out. He jumped on the ground with them. He didn't know why. That's what they did. That's what he did. Most of the time, that's how we are with our money. We just follow the crowd, 30-year mortgage. Okay, well, that's what everybody do. That's what I'm going to do. Why? Why can't you do an 8-year mortgage or a 17-year mortgage? Why you got to do a 30-year mortgage? Because that's what everybody else does. You be the weird one. Building wealth is a game. Uno versus chess. Uno doesn't take a lot of knowledge or skill to play Uno. It's pretty basic. Matching colors and numbers, right? Chess, it's a different game. You have to actually think about what you're doing. Have to have a strategy. So when you're building wealth, you have to always remember it's a game. You have to come up with a strategy. Accumulate more assets over accessories. That one's pretty self-explanatory. Don't focus on money. Most people, that's what they do. I just want more money. If I had more money, oh man, life would be great. If I just had more money, I could do some great things. Well, okay, great. Focus on your service. What happens when you focus on service? The money will come. You provide a service, you will get the money. That's the basic foundation of a business. Provide a service, meet a need, here comes the money. You don't provide a service, you don't meet the need, well, paper or plastic, which one you want? That's your choice. And then lastly, fire yourself. What do you mean by that, man? Fire you as the employee of Phillips 66. And then hire yourself back as an independent contractor. So what happens then? You hire yourself back as an independent contractor, it changes the whole dynamic of the relationship. Now I don't have to come to work because it's an obligation. I gotta go. Oh my gosh, it's Monday again. Jeez, man, 5 o'clock can't get here fast enough. Now it's an opportunity. I get to go to work because this is now